All right, let's get into the glass or the ice and the speed and these types of things, because Newsom talks about breaking the glass. We've been seeing a few glass in the news, so let's connect these things together a little bit so we can understand what's going on. Because Trump back in the day went on the Aiden Ross show, and that's part of that Kick podcast, and it's tied into the MMA and such, but gave him that Cybertruck, which has that bulletproof glass and that seamless steel. So Trump also drank from the champagne flute, which is a glass and such, and this tie into a poison, and that poison dart frog and those types of things on a flip-flop and a slow acting kind of thing, or whatever, on one kind of mirror, or it may flip-flop into that poison dart action for the green arrow and whatever else is coming up with this acrylic glass thing or whatever. Because Newsom mentioned breaking the glass. We have Claude Mythos AI software mentioning with glass wing, and the Apostle St. Paul, which gives the church a problem because they found some more letters. That Bible's not complete, folks. You've just been under a delusion, as you've been told the great deception has been upon you, and they've been lying to you about the aliens being here, and now you got all this phone in front of you, been eating all this ultra-processed food, you took the fucking mark of the beast as the beast system came in, and whatever else is going on, so this is where the aliens come on, the lions, just come in and fucking devoured you for that hour of time, but that's a whole nother fucking story. But the 42 pages they found, the Biden, the ex-Den and Sitch, the 11/20/42 that he was born in and such, and the 24 hour on the flip on all these things. We've been on the 9/11 and the anniversary and the 2026 alphabet and these little clocks, and the 55 of the flip on the 22 on the Elon Musk coming up on 6/28 and those types of things. Okay, so you know those types. But either way, all the Catholic churches, they have this stained glass brought together with the lead and these outlines and shit like that, right? So we can kind of see where all this is going. And then AOC mentioned pulling up bulletproof glass. We could, whatever this UFC thing, this kind of like that octagon, that focal point on that. What was that fucking drawing I did? Gosh. This one, right? Be there. In case you missed it, right there. That's the fucking octagon. And the octagon, hexagon, pentagon, where the fuck they're fighting in, okay? It all carries on into the October, which is a 10, but it's an 8. So these are the double months and these kinds of things. As you're like a 6 and 7, 6, 7. Trump Pence turned 6, 7 on 6, 7 this year. So imagine that. And the Trump pets, the penthouse pets, the Stormy Daniels, the Petri dish, the Petro, the trumpet flowers, the Ivanka, the pictures, the negatives, all these types of things coming. As I'm sure that as they show this, and whatever, Iran will show this and whatever with the Trump, and this kind of be where they're putting the hit on Ivanka. And I told you back in the day there'd be like a hostage situation or assassin situation or whatever kind of thing coming on the family members and Ivanka and whatever the kind of thing. And now we're seeing these play out for the second coming of a dawn. So folks, it's all right here. All you gotta do is go back and listen, kind of get caught up and get that lip syncing session going on and hear, and you can see what's fucking coming, okay? So sorry to tell you, man, but I've been waiting for these things since I was like 13, 14, 15 years old, even before that, actually, when I saw the Dark Spirit showing on my bed, and my mother hung me over the fire, so you're gonna fucking burn forever if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Savior. And that night I was like fucking crying on my bed. I gotta get Jesus in my heart, my God. And she prayed with me that night. Dear bless her soul. Age of 10 years old. Either way, still on that Irving Boulevard. We're passing in front of that Griff's Burgers. actually, when she was fucking telling me the story of fucking burning forever in the minivan that I'm pretty sure it was the minivan, the Astro van that we bought from one of the #1 Elvis impersonators of that time spectrum. Okay? But either way, it doesn't fucking matter. Maybe it does matter. So, hey, let's tell the story of the ice in the glass a little bit with the foil, the oil, and the olive branch and whatever else, all right? Because some of us, the tiger and the dragon, some of us have not, back in the day, you know, there was a time in my life where it's like between, like out of art school is like I was dropped in another fucking place, right? You seeing, I grew up in the Baptist church where I'm seeing balls and all dropped in front of me, hanging from the rafters and all kinds of shit that I gotta draw and whatever else, okay? And lo and behold, Mr. Paisley, perspective class, he'd walk down the thing. If y'all have not been to AI school, Art Institute school, all right? That's where you get told how shitty you are, all right? So I'm just letting y'all know, that's kind of where you're at. And as a teacher walks around, Mr. Paisley, he used to roll his own cigarettes, his own fags, right? He used to call them fags. You can roll my own fags. He's from Britain. Anyways, we'd have an assignment. He'd hang up all our shit on the wall. He'd walk up and down, and we'd just be waiting. Like the first time or two was a lesson, right? And then we was like, fine. And then basically everything was shit in the perspective class. And every now and then he'd be like, this one's really good, and blah, 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 that kind of thing, right? This other class, the rafter class, where this dude was fucking a naked boy, shaved down completely, just comes in and fucks with everybody and just starts doing all these fucking yoga stances and gymnastic, ballerina, whatever the fuck you want to call it, okay? It was all combined into one, but he was on the floor, he was on the ceiling, he was whatever. We was getting eye shots of Cyclops and his nose and all this other stuff and whatever else is going on, okay? But we were cracking up, dude, during this one. But either way, I don't think anybody drew properly that day, according to Mr. Paisley. But there was one session where he had everybody gather around my spot. So everyone come over here and look at this one. So I felt pretty good that day. And Paisley's car wash takes me back to that Arlington where they did the oil change and the car wash at the same time with that Kevin Washington, that wash in the old Fed today, or not today, but yesterday or whatever it was. But let's talk about the highlight session. It's putting your hair, go get some highlights done with some color. We're in that color theory, the CMYK, the RGBs and shit. That's where we got the Orange County coming up. We've been tracking some of these color theories for you to understand, but that's where we've seen the rainbow here, and it's passing through the rainbow there, and all these kinds of things. Okay, so it's where you get these different parties and whatever else coming. But the foil, the ice, chasing the dragon, the U or the V. Okay, you're going to be rolling the Xing this up and down. Okay, so depending where the points in time you're going to get this is depending what you get for the BB or the Biden or the X and those types of things that we've been tracking. And then Christina, the Christina, the Xtina for the Christina Aguilera or whatever. It's just a simple point in view because she was at the same time frame as Britney Spears. Britney Spears shaved her head. Christina Aguilera didn't. Either way, we're going to see all these kinds of things come into an open light as it's been kind of kept in the closet in the next 4, 5, 10, 15 fucking years, whatever, right? So as all these things are playing out, okay, the Israel, we've been given a reality, a real, and all these things. We've taken it, we've grown up at Generation X, Millennium, blah, 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 right? We are taking the star seeds, we're living these things out, and this is where the Israel's collected the intelligence, and we've had the echelon system, the surveillance system, those white moons that are placed upon the orbs and all that shit coming here. So either way, all these things are coming together, intelligence gathering, blah, 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 blah. That we've all connected in all these videos, okay? So as the X and the BBs and the 666 and XXX and all these things are coming together, Stormy Daniels, blah, blah, blah. Trumpet Flowers, Ivanka, taking pictures, laying naked, saying you're butt fucked, whatever else, that you weren't butt fucked, and or if you were butt fucked, you're gonna come and fuck them over, and whatever kind of thing is going on with the Don and whoever's fucked them over, and whatever's going on in the big picture, okay, behind with the Ghislaine and the Epsteins and this blackmail situation when the Pussycat Dolls with the Kim Kardashian, and now we got the Nicki Minaj coming in and whatever. She probably fucked up Elon Musk, fucked his ass out, and then got pregnant by him and whatever else going on, right? So we'll see what's coming soon. No pun, well, pun intended, right? For that pun-ish, man. But that condemnation. But either way, so you got this. You want a U. If you do the V, right, which is that 22, the 22 versus the 21, and that's also the U for the magnetics and those types of things. And that's that point for the capitalism and all those different things. And then the capitalism, the point, if you do this in too long, you'll start to get holes and it will drip through and get onto your flame and all that other kind of stuff, and you'll already get black marks underneath after a certain point in time. And the point is to hold it, the flame, you want to get the flame, that Bunsen burner at a certain temp to burn it. All these types of things are all going on symbolically in our world today. And when they get too close and blah 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 and too much black is showing, and that's the dark side of the moon and whatever else, right? This is the moon, and the burnt side would be the dark side of the moon, and then the so-called speed or ice or water or whatever would be on the inside. So this is where the blue and the red, controlled by the red flame, the Republicans and stuff, is all controlling the liquid, the water and chemicals, periodic table, battery, acid, whatever methamphetamine is made out of, right? So all these things are playing out in your world, okay? And then you do the little thing here, so you catch it, okay? And then you do your thing here to catch it. You do your little V's and T's and crossovers and those types of things, and all those work together. And then you fold this, like if you want to do it really nice, you do that first. And you do this first. You make a Noah's Ark. We used to call it like a Noah's Ark. All right, you make the Noah's Ark, and then you fold it in, fold it in. All right, the soldier's coming back to me now, actually. Fold it in, fold it in. I'm 20 years clean, people. All by my fucking self. You better fucking believe it. I didn't need a fucking 12-step program or whatever else. I listened to the fucking Spirit, and the Spirit shook me a little bit, and I followed suit. And I also was shown a picture by a woman I worked with named, I will give her name, Cheryl Archer, and the look in her eyes when she showed me the picture, she didn't say a word. I knew everything when I saw the picture, because I went from like 190, 185 to probably, I lost 20 pounds, or, you know, the phase you take. Anyway, I saw myself in the picture that she gave me, and her eye, it all just, that's kind of like what started everything in a little bit, kind of fashion. at that point. And then the car wreck I had and those things, I told the stories a little bit, but that was kind of meant to happen looking back, because when I went to Discount a week before my wreck, I went to Discount Tire and said, I want new tire, 2 new tires, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I want them put on the back. And he said, well, we can't do that. We're going to put them on the front. It's like, fuck. Anyways, went through this big whole fucking argument for like 30 or whatever minutes. And it's like, I'm going to change these tires when I get back over, because I want my new tires on the back. It's like, well, you get more traction in the rain if they're on the front. It's like, well, I'm not fucking driving in the rain all the time. I'm driving in the fucking normal weather or whatever. Anyways, lo and behold, the day after my mom's birthday, driving back from her birthday, and I always went up for her birthday, all these things, crashed my fucking car into a pole because somebody's swerving in my lane. Anyways, that was the day I shattered my heel bone. Dog died. That was my best friend, and that's when Jeremy 2.0 came on in one instance. Okay, and at the same time, I met my now wife later on, but she actually had a wreck at the same time, and I'm gonna get into another video connecting me and her to the so-called wow signal and this alien hybrid shit going on and whatever else has been happening since whatever. If you've been following, then you know exactly what I've been talking about, because that's why this whole channel exists. Either way, so the stained glass in the church and that Catholic, the cat and the Egyptian worship, that fecal matter and that alcoholic and that litter box shit you got in Texas don't handle litter very well. All that's coming into a perspective. And I don't know if I told this story, but just a little bit more about myself. When I was a child, I told the story about the so-called Darth Vader, dark shadow standing on my bed and those types of things. And then I grew up Baptist, and either way, I used to eat my boogers behind the chair when my mom and Stovall's mom did the Bible study for our age group of kids or whatever. Anyways, there's a little green chair. I'd sit behind there and eat it, and then we'd go play Duck, Duck, Goose, touching my booger fingers. Either way, I used to sleep like this and tucked in tight, like all the way fucking down, like looking back like a fucking mummy, right? Either way, we used to have this fucking calico cat come in named Shiner, and it would get on my fucking chest, right? And it'd freak me the fuck out. I would have my mom, it was a delicate balance, right? Because I didn't want my door closed, because then the shadow figure would come up, but I didn't want the fucking door open, because then the cat would come in and fucking lay on my chest. And then I would lay on the chest, and I'd wake up and it's a fucking predator, right? Anyways, or I don't know which fucking one it is. It's one. All right, either way, y'all know what movie I'm talking about. So many things as a child I had to like deal with, and mom showing me the fucking orbs and shit in the sky, 5 or 6 years old, and then kindergarten teacher being a full-blown bitch. Then first grade was great. My mom made sure first grade was great with Mrs. Bushy. And then also making your own candy. It's all going into the shit my mom made for Easter. She made the Easter bunny chocolates and custom shit for the whole class or whatever, the little sculpted bunny and whatever. But the Bad Bunny trails, it's all going into there. Oh man, good times, folks. But let's not forget about chasing that dragon, because the tiger and the dragon is here. And that oil is upon you. And that replay of the 70s where you either got the right license plate number or the right driving license number, or you fucking haven't been vaccinated, or whatever the fuck is going on, whatever they got planned for you. All right, and that hook, line, and sinker. And when these elections come up, whether it be this one, 2026, for a shortening of days or a little lengthening, that be elonging for that Nicki Minaj Pussycat Doll spy rig, that black hole tractor beam. We are going to suck in some motherships tonight and devour some semen, okay? All right, full blast. We got the leg spread. We got that cleavage showing. We got the mountains on high. All right, so this is where you go to Vegas. You see all these things going on. And you find out half these women are fucking whores. And all this other shit or whatever, right? Those, it's like they really don't, they exist, but they don't fucking exist, okay? That's when you gotta have the fucking pimp like shit, right? And you go down to the fucking clubs and you get that shit for free. So that's where we're at now, because we've seen people like that Adam Ross, kind of similar to that Aiden Ross, who just did that flashy shit and whatever else. He didn't listen to the rules, and he got taken down. And then some of us people, like myself, we were just brought into the mix to view it. And we saw this going on here, connected by this over here, this over here. We got fucked a little in the process, just by knowing. So that's kind of how all these things are going on in a world stage, spiritual stage for you people. Okay, because it's all coming for y'all. Some of us did it out back then. All right? But now, you're going to have to do it out now as you're after birth. All these things, okay? So, that serotonin and whatever else, it's all being reprogrammed within you. Produce that hate and whatever else is going on when you look at this machine. Because you look, every time you look at this fucking phone, it makes you upset. So why the fuck are you watching it? Okay? That's the you. The dragon on the fucking you. Well, that's more of a V, but you know what I mean. And then if you want to get fucking nuts with it, get that fucking gangster shit, motherfucker. Yeah. We're gonna get fucking nuts today, no. Yeah. We're gonna come and feed the milk. You best believe that fucking hive of Babylon is. If you've ever had a beehive in your fucking wall, and I have actually. I bought a house one time with a beehive in a wall. And when you disturb it, it sounds like a fucking it literally sounds like a fucking chainsaw coming through the fucking wall, right? What do I have to do? Drill a fucking... I tried to get rid of them reasonably. They just wouldn't fucking listen. I had to drill a hole in the base, right? Just got a little propane tank. Gas them motherfuckers. Okay? So, if you ever have a bee problem, you do that. And if you want the honey, you just cut down this sheetrock and cut out the hive and take the honey. It's that easy. Okay? But yeah. There's just some little bit of stories there for you about that broken glass. The break the glass. That also takes me back to the time. Oh man, you can't get into too many fucking mirrors and give it away, right? That mirrors are the bathrooms, and the mirror, that dark image, all this shit coming right. You're merged with the machine. It's like your other personality, your mirror, your whatever, is all coming here, and while it's you, it's not fucking you, right now, right? So this is where the anger, or the man anger, the manger, all these things are coming together for the stable. All these things are whatever. You may see this, that, and the other, but it may not be. And while some of us love this, some of us, this is like the star seeds, and the star seeds show in the sky, which is the mirror reflection of Earth, and it's like the star people that were the heavens. We're actually looking, the cities of lights and all these things above us, the higher dimensions, and they send down technologies or whatever. They come down and bring us things. And either way, ties in a bunch of shit I've been putting in, but we'll end it here. I think we've covered the session on the bee glass, and I did some posts on Matthew McConaughey and the bee sting and all this shit. So all this stuff is kind of showing in a spiritual format, and it's either showing in that spiritual format, or a conspiracy format, or a Israel versus Israel, and a Israel, and the movie, all those kinds of things, the interdimensional three trifecta, Father, Vader, Word, Jesus, truth, controlled by Satan, the lie, where the Holy Spirit controls the clean and unclean spirits, which is the demons and the intelligence, and they casted the demons upon you as you are full of possessions in your home. And go look at your fucking home, because the windows, especially in these new HOAs, the windows and the doors and the garages and all this thing look like a little fucking person, two people looking at you and shit. So this is where the mothership is coming in to fucking devour you, if you're of the old age.